Hey, hey, great stuff. I'm back, and I'm hoping you're listening. If you're not listening, well, you must be involved with something else. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm back, and I'm in loving it. It's 22:52, and it's 22:51 actually, but it's coming up to 22:52, and it's Friday, the 18th of August. Right. Okay. Now, what can we talk about? I can say I'm the most to myself, I can say I'm the most disgusting, horrible person I've ever met. And I actually can see that as being a separate person to myself. I can see it in myself, and I can see that because that is relative to the world, there are people like that. I can see that it's relative to myself in that way. It's actually a part of the world, and it's part of me, because that's how the world works. It works in relative uh, situations. So, in other words, everything that's happening in the world is relative to me, and for that reason, the most disgusting, horrible person is me, and I can see that as being separate, a kind of separate. I can't describe it, but I would say it is like talking to the idea of it rather than the actual believing it, rather than believing it. So you're actually talking about a a a a a, a, a possible situation that could render you as that, but you don't have to be it. You can be beautiful, and be aware of that being part of you. You can still be beautiful and be aware of that as being part of you. You can be, you know, you can say that. You can actually say that you are an enemy of the world, and 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 by saying that, you understand its meaning. You can relate to it. You can see that it's everything else apart from that. I'm an enemy of the world, and therefore I am the lover of the world. So we see that as being having two meanings. One is the fact that we're dismissing it as saying it's outrageous. It's not possible. And the other one is we're accepting it as being a possible situation that could happen. So yeah, so we can love it for that reason. We can love the idea of it being an enemy of the world. Yeah. So, but basically, I can talk about other things as well. I can talk about how we change things by encouraging them. Now, you may not understand that straight away, but basically, the smaller the movement we make, believe it or not, the greater power we can have to encourage a a better situation. So, in other words, we by making any kind of thought appear in our actions. In other words, I wish to encourage a a voice from the screen that I'm talking on. Then I would have to let myself be completely at ease and free to to look in the right direction and to say the right words to make out that I'm acting as somebody who would be willing to listen. So that's the only way we can make a voice appear, is by willing to listen, and we have to do that or I have to do that by just nodding my head, just saying, it's okay. You can say what you like. I don't have to say anything else really. I just have to realize that encouragement changes what we hear. It changes it. It actually changes it. So you know. So as you get nearer to a voice or somebody, somebody's face or their movement or their activity, you can actually change what they're going to do. You can actually change it by how you approach them, and by your freedom in being exactly what you want to be. You don't have to, as long as you understand that you want to encourage them, you will be okay. You will know what you're doing. So encouragement is what it's all about. That's the whole message. That's the whole message. And it is that. There is nothing else. We change everything by encouraging it. And there is nothing better that you can do for somebody than encourage their happiness. And that's what we do when we make people speak. When we don't force them to speak, we don't torture them and say you will confess or you'll get the comfy chair. We don't say that. We say I am waiting, and I can wait forever. I don't have to be anyone in particular to appreciate what you're going to say. I will be anyone you want me to be. Okay, I've said enough, and I'll leave it there. And I wish you a good evening on Friday at 22:57. Right. Okay. Catch you later. Friday. Yeah. The 18th. Right.